Here, we are going to explain how the three reinvented toilets can be distributed globally, focusing on regions with the biggest sanitation gaps. The first step is identifying where the crisis is the most severe. Using WHO and UNICEF data, we target low-income countries, rural villages, and informal settlements. Then we narrow it down to high-need pockets like remote areas, slums, and disaster-prone communities, so support reaches the people who need it the most. Next, we match each toilet to the local context. Waterless toilets are ideal for drought-prone regions. Modular quick-install toilets work best in refugee camps or disaster zones, and flush or advanced toilets suit semi-urban areas with some basic water and sewage infrastructure.
Next, for the rollout, we recommend using a phased rollout plan, where in the first phase, the toilets would be tested, that is, doing field tests in small pilot communities to test user satisfaction, cultural fit, and the costs. Once this phase is successful, move to high need areas, and then after that, there would be the next phase would be national adoption in target areas like China, India, and Africa. Moving on, for successful distribution, there will be need for strong collaboration through local governments, NGOs, public and private companies, and all of these entities should work together to identify strategic sites, um, see procedures for training staff, procedures for support and maintenance. Matters sourcing and funding can come from international aid agencies, foundations, microfinancing, and commercialization with private companies. Also, for long-term sustainability, a small fee can be charged in some areas. Finally, logistics, sustainability, and equity. First off, there's no successful distribution without logistics, and a good strategy would be to adopt local logistics, that is, manufacture and assemble the toilets locally. This would first off help create jobs and reduce costs, but more importantly, make the distribution of these toilets faster. There would be regional hubs, local hubs, so that distribution is much faster. Then for distributions to work effectively, it would be important to prioritize women and children because this is the group that is mostly affected by poor sanitation areas, ensuring equity. And then lastly, for continuous sustainability is to ensure maximum distribution impact by minimizing water usage and ensuring safe waste disposal.
Here, we're going to talk about the ethical and the corporate social responsibility challenges in distributing the toilets. First, equity in SS versus the affordability. Although 2.4 billion people lack improved sanitation and costs aim to stay below 5 cents per user per day, using private businesses model may limit access for the poorest community, especially those in the remote and off-grid areas. Second, regulatory standards, safety, and quality. These modern toilets use new technologies that lack consistent global oversight. Without strong standard and quality control, poorly made decisions and misused units could create health risks. Ensuring protection for the vulnerable population must remain top-tier priority.
Hi, I'm going to explain about cultural acceptance and long-term sustainability. First, culture and social acceptance. Toilet must be culturally, behaviorally, and practically acceptable to each community. RTA stress the need to ensure demonstration model match local cultural norms. If community don't understand or trust technology, adoptions will be low, creating wastage investment perceptions of explanation. Long-term sustainability and ethical responsibilities. Toilet required consistent maintenance, training, and local support. If not maintained, they can erase health benefits. Ethical obligation. Companies must avoid installing toilet without long-term planning or support. Sustainability depends on local engagement, ongoing repairs, and community ownership.
Now I'm going to talk about the logistical challenges that we might face in distributing these toilets. First challenge is transportation and infrastructure limitations. Many areas that need these toilets don't have reliable roads or transport systems, so moving large units becomes slow and difficult. And the second challenge is high shipping cost and the weight or the volume of the product. These toilets are bulky and require careful handling, which makes shipping more expensive. The heavier or larger the units are, the fewer you can transport at one time. And the third challenge is custom clearance and import regulation. Since it is a new technology in many countries which require extra documentation, inspections, or the permits, this often causes delay at the border and makes the distribution process longer and more complicated. The next challenge is warehousing, storage, and inventory management. These toilets and their components need safe, secure storage before installation. In many regions, warehouse facilities are limited or not climate controlled, which increases the risk of damage or loss. The next challenge is need for spare parts and maintenance logistics. Because the toilet use specialized technology, they require specific replacement parts. The last challenge is coordination with local governments and agencies. Distributing toilets in communities often requires permits, approvals, or partnerships with local authorities. This coordination can take time and may slow down the rollout if processes are unclear.